I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
He's going to build the wall, and Mexico is going to pay for it.
Mexico will be paying in some form for the badly needed border wall.
Mexico absolutely will not pay, adding that it goes against our dignity as a country and our dignity as Mexicans.
Begin working on an impenetrable, physical, tall, powerful, beautiful southern border wall.
Introduce yourself and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Francisco J. Alvarez, and I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. I came here when I was 5 years old.
My name is Sean Fusen, and I work for the law offices of James Bach in San Francisco. I'm the operations manager for the firm.
Well, the process to getting my citizenship required us to go back to Mexico because we were already living here. I was, I think, 12 or 13 years old at the time, and my father brought us back to Mexico, and he fixed the paperwork in Mexico City, I believe. Then we went back to Guadalajara, and then we came back here. And because we were under 18, we automatically became citizens when he became one. The only one that wasn't a citizen, that had to take a citizenship test, was my sister Sandra.
As a practical matter, Trump hasn't really come out with what his true policy is. There's a lot of things on the news about what he may or may not want to do, but as a fact of the matter, he hasn't really had any policies implemented.
At the time, I didn't see much diversity because I didn't know the language. So I was in ESL classes and whatnot. I remember this one instance though before, one of the teachers, she thought I had a hearing problem because I didn't understand the question she was asking. It's not that I didn't hear, I just didn't understand the question. She just kept on getting louder and louder, and I thought she was screaming at me, and I was like, I started kind of crying and stuff, and my dad was at the doorway, and he came and he explained to the teacher in his broken English that I didn't speak any English, so, that was fixed, but,
My understanding of deportation is, well, there's two parts to deportation. For instance, let's say if you get caught coming across the border, literally you are put on a bus and shipped back to Mexico. If you're here already and you get picked up for whatever reason, then you are held in jail normally for, in some cases, can be more than a year right now. And then eventually you go in front of a judge where usually there's a stay where you pay a bond and you're let out until the courts have time to actually hear your case and make a decision. And that can take several years these days. There's some people that are here for 10 years waiting for an actual court hearing to determine whether or not they have to leave the United States.
My dad was always in the restaurant business. Ever since I can remember, my mom was always there helping him as well as taking care of the house and the kids.
You talk to police officers and they give a different circumstance. They say that the parents come here and it's the children that are the problem because they're normally from low-income families and the parents are trying to work to make money and the children are on their own and they tend to get with gangs or do other things.
The restaurant was a good experience because my dad instilled a good work ethic in us. My dad, he was here before us. I think he was here maybe about 6-7 years before he brought everybody over. I know it's probably more difficult for him than it was for us. And when he brought us, it was tough at first, but I think we adapted pretty good. My mom as well. None of us knew the language, but as time went on, I think I speak better English now than I do Spanish, so.
People treat the immigrants wrongly as far as they pay them less than what they're supposed to be making. They work long hours, they don't have the same education or the health care that everyone else is provided, yet they still pay taxes in most cases.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
The overwhelming majority of immigrants are law-abiding, hard-working individuals making contributions to our country and our society.
It hasn't really changed anything in the immigration forum. as of yet. So he, in my opinion, hasn't come out with a real stance on what his policy is because he hasn't been consistent in doing anything.
That wall will go up so fast, your head will spin.
They go around killing people and hurting people, and they're going to be out of this country so fast your head will spin.
If they're breaking the law, they should be deported. That's just, I mean, if you break the law here, you go to jail. That's how it works. So I think there is a dysfunction between both sides. And as far as if they break the law, I mean, I know we have sanctuary cities such as San Francisco where they don't report things to the federal government, and I think they need to do that because there are times where that is necessary to deport someone if they have a violent crime or something of that nature.
I would say, you know, over 90% of us that come here illegally, we come here just for a better life for us, you know, for our families back home, and, you know, we just want what everybody else wants.
All right.
Good.
Well, I think we're done. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good.